Hello everybody, I'm Absurdum. Today we're going to play some Halcyon 6. This is a game that I'm only kind of familiar with. I'm not super involved with it. I have owned it for some time. I've never really played it a whole lot. This is the Lightspeed edition, which I was tinkering with a little bit yesterday. I do like it better because it just is less marathonish and kind of do things much quicker, as you would think with Lightspeed. And I do like that aspect of the game, because before it did seem to feel like it was really grindy. But with that being said, let's just jump in here. Right off the bat, we're going to skip the prologue. I already know what it is. I'll describe it to you real briefly. It just will kind of cut us there quicker. That being said, we're going to keep the difficulty the same. I'm going to do Iron Man because I always just play Iron Mans. I don't know what these add-ons on. I haven't checked the Steam to see if that's a thing there or not. But let's jump in. Right off the bat, we're going to have to choose a first officer. I'm going to go from an expanded list because I want a certain type. There are 3 types of officers. Let's go with Laud, sure. There's tactical, engineering, and science, and then each type has a subclass to it if you're not familiar. I think what I'm going to go with is inventor, though. I like their abilities off the bat a little bit better. I don't think there's really much I have to say about it other than that. I do want to talk about their space combat and ground combat, because there's 2 types of combat in this game. You can either be in a spaceship doing combat, or there are different scenarios that require us to fight on the ground. And they have different abilities that more or less kind of do the same-ish things, which I like. It doesn't get too complicated in that matter, but they are different, which I really enjoy the fact that they kind of separated out and add that extra component to this game. Let's pick him. Right off the bat, you can pick a special power. I'm going to go Drone Swarm. There's other ones here. Most of them kind of have a chance to do something to yourself, which I'm not super in love with. Drone Swarm, however, just once per mission can inflict kind of a dot attack on all enemies. It seems just like a good way to go overall. Not the strongest maybe, but has the least amount of risks. I like that. Unlockable prestige class. I don't know what that means because I've never gotten that far, but it seems and sounds awesome. As for these proficiencies and weaknesses, we'll get into those more later when we're fighting. Here's a briefing that we are past. We don't really need to talk about it. You should directly promote a new officer from the ranks. Okay, so from here we'll pick somebody else. I think it's a tough call. I really do like both these types. That being said, I think what we'll maybe do, I think we're going to pick you. I like that ship type better. Tactical officers are kind of more like a roguish class where they can kind of boost friends and apply extra weaknesses and debuffs to enemies. We're going to go with that. So here in Halcyon 6, this is the Halcyon 6 station. It's a prelude civilization artifact that we kind of found and took control over. As for Earth, Earth forms this space federation, the new Terran Federation, but gets attacked by these evil monsters over here that just kind of opened up this little wormhole thing, came out, destroyed the planet, and now all that's left of us, we don't really discover this yet, is just the Halcyon 6 station. But we don't know that. We're looking out for other people, we're trying to see who's still alive, and there are people still alive on these different planets. But we're trying to just pretty much get our bearings. The only other area we know about is this pirate area. There will be other areas, we just haven't discovered them yet. And real quickly, I just want to talk about the different types of planets here. We have systems, which will have people. That's one of our resources. These asteroids will give us materials, another one of our resources. These things give us fuel. And then lastly, we have these like quasars or whatever, there's pulsars. And that gives us dark matter. And those are our resource types in the top right. We also have drones, which we'll talk about later. Morale and health of the station are also kind of an important factor. But for now, I don't want to spend too long. Go away. Kind of trying to hit all the basics. Let's get into the game a little bit more. So from here, we have our base, which is quite large. But in an XCOM fashion, and this is why this game kind of gets related to XCOM, you have this kind of base set up. You have a tech tree that you can kind of go through. You can promote different soldiers and things like that. And that's what we're going to do. We have, if we go to our fleet command, just the one ship, which is fine for now, but we are going to want another one. So let's do that. We have our strategist here who needs a ship that's just for her. I think, however, we're going to go through Rogue. There's slight differences in their stats here, but when it comes down to it, I want the Rogue. It does less damage, but has a significant more amount of health. We'll go ahead and pick this one. I like that a lot. So in 3 days here, we'll get it. It's going to cost us these things, which we have enough of. And that's going to let our second person here kind of fly out and do things together. As is right now, we just have this guy. If we go to ship management and sign him to it, which is through here, apparently. Now he can fly about the space and go about his business and do things for us. Meanwhile, for the next 3 days at least, she's stuck inside doing other stuff. Let's go ahead and have her clear out this room. Anything we can do with the officer quarter? I don't believe so. This is just kind of how we look at our different officers. Station bridge, do you do anything? No, not really. And this is our tech tree. A little confusing at first, but things kind of spread out from here. I don't know if things unlock past this or not, because I've never really gotten that far in the game, but we'll figure it out. Mainly, we can get... these are the ship types we get. I know we will get higher ship tiers and classes through that, of that kind of nature through here. We can also get different kinds of buildings for our base as well. New power plants, for example. This will let us produce fuel. Oops, go back. These things will let us get other special bonuses. Repair bay will let us repair our ships quicker, and our station, the foundry, will let us make kind of like mods for the ships and whatnot, as well as do other bonuses. And the propulsion lab increases fuel efficiency and travel time. So they all kind of do something. But right off the bat, I'm going to be looking for this, I believe. Let's go ahead and research it now. The Officer Academy, once we build it, will let us basically get more officers. And since they're kind of our main soldier type, our main units, having more of them and getting them leveled up quicker, I think will put us on a good standing for the rest of the game. Because we could lose one of these guys. They can die in space combat, and they're dead, they're dead. And if you don't have someone to kind of back them up, just like XCOM, that can leave you in a bad spot. There is no research time, it's just done. If you buy it for it, it's done. Once she clears a room or two, we'll look into maybe building one of those. We could probably do it now, but I want to send this guy here. We'll select a ship, create our fleet. Here he is, by himself. He'll be alright. We will create a fleet name. Sure, why not? Absurdum. That's a fleetish kind of sounding name, right? Exclamation. No, you won't let me do an exclamation mark. No, so we don't want this. I lied. I apologize. We can have multiple fleets, and I don't know honestly if the game gets big enough to do this, where you have multiple fleets with different people in it, or not. I'm hoping so, because that'd be really cool. But for now, we'll send them out there. So here we arrive at the station that's refining fuel. Basically, we have different options when we come here. We can collect the fuel. There's 2 generated a day. 75 population here, which we can basically steal that crew member if we need them. Then we could come here and have them fly back to the station, and we could use them to do other things, which we're not going to do. But we could. And each kind of place out here has different upgrades you can do too. How much they can hold and how much they generate per day. Neat little things. They take a fair amount of time, so I'm not super interested in doing it. But each kind of different station we go to has that. That being said, this one has an exclamation mark. So let's go there and check it out. We should be fine to do this. It lets us select which fleet, tells us how much fuel it's going to cost. Should be fine. Soon we're going to be fighting pirates and stuff. Finally, a friendly face. We were cut off from those creatures a few weeks ago. We caught a number of transmissions from nearby facilities. Horrible, awful. We are sure would be up next. This game is just despite being so pixelated, so pretty. We have a fully stocked and functional colony here, Commander. Consider it at your disposal. So, here we can get new population from. Which is really great, because this can be a hard resource to find at the beginning. So let's transfer the 3 crew. That's all they have there waiting for us, which is fine. We can also look at them. Oops, that's... I was trying to look at them. This guy is going to talk to us about drones. Drone satellites, which we can do through here, but we don't need to. Let's go back here. I wasn't done with you. So the way satellites and drones kind of work, which you can see now we have 3 of them in the top right. Instead of having to fly out here and constantly come pick it up, when it fills up all the way of whatever resource it is that it collects, the drone will send that kind of as a supply to us instead, which is nice. So there will be certain areas that I definitely want drones at. This isn't really one of them, but we could do it. It takes a fair amount of time to set it up. It says 5 days, but it would take this poor chap 8 days to do it. Instead, I wanted to see if there's anything here I really wanted. Increases cap by 17. 1 extra crew a day. That's actually not that significant if you ask me. And then lastly, and this is the type that I really care about, we're going to go to this asteroid here. I don't know if there's anything going on. We might have to fight something when we get there. It's really hard to say, but... Commander, we cleared out the space. Oh, fantastic. So she's done with this. We could build some things, except that we need a reactor, which we don't have. We have no more energy. We're full use capacity, so let's go ahead and build this reactor. It's not like XCOM where you can assign somebody to do it faster. It will just kind of do it on its own. So let's have her clear this next room. So you can see here that she did get some experience for clearing the room, which is actually quite nice. Which means when we have people stay back here and do different tasks and stuff, so they will level up on their own, even if they're not out fighting and doing missions for us. So let's have her do that. 2 days she'll be done. She's getting slightly better at it. I believe the last one was 3 days, but maybe not. Maybe I'm remembering wrong. Alright, so we're out here at the asteroid. All the miners seem to be killed in the attack. That's not good. So, let's beam down to the facility and see what we find down there. Monsters. Kind of knew it would be monsters. This is a pre-deployment phase. Now, this is something that wasn't here in the original one, if I remember correctly, because I don't remember it being a thing before. But basically, we can set up their abilities as much as we want, maybe. Okay, not the green shirts, apparently. But since he's out here by himself, we have just Lod, our guy, and these 2 others here that are just kind of nameless cadets. Think of them like red shirts, but they're called green shirts because it's not Star Trek, I guess. Let's see if we can... Why won't you let me set him up at all? Maybe we can't change his abilities, and I'm just mistaken. I guess we can only change the different cadets that we have. That's fine. I don't think it's going to make a terrible difference. Let's deploy them. I mean, this is our first fight. Heaven forbid we get everybody killed immediately. It's possible. It's possible it could happen. These cadets, they only have 25 health. It's not a lot. So every ability has different things, and they kind of work off of each other. Mind Toss hits a single enemy and has a chance to hit and do damage, but it will exploit blinded, which means it will do an extra 50% chance if it hits a target that has been blinded. And that's what it means when it says exploits, as opposed to here where it says inflicted, where it has an 80% chance to add that debuff to them. Because I like the sound of that better, let's go ahead and put shocked on one of them. We'll electrocute him. He does indeed get shocked, which decreases his speed. These icons, and this is what I meant when I said that abilities in the ground combat here are kind of the same as the space combat. You have the same icons for debuffs, well, they're different names, but they do the exact same things. So it's really nice once you get used to them. So now he's there. I would like to apply bleeding to somebody, just because I really do like the dot damage, and we need to get somebody taken out as quickly as we can, just to help our odds. Here we can inflict shocked, which we already have, and exploit afflicted, which isn't as necessary either. This does 6 to 11 damage, this does 7 to 12. That's not a huge difference in my book. Let's go ahead and put in this person because I want somebody else to be slowed down. You can see in the bar down here, they're a lineup. And there she goes, her head cut off. And there's some blood. Just a little bit of blood, not too much. She'll be alright. Maybe. We could do nano shields, which I'm not familiar with off the bat. It does. Deploy your nanobots to form a nano shield, increasing their damage resistance by 15%. Now 15% isn't really a whole lot. I don't see good things happening for this guy here. I don't see him making it, if you want to be perfectly honest about it. He's vulnerable, so plus 5 damage. Let's see. 235. I think this is going to have to be our main attack for now. Unless he invades all of it. In which case, never mind. So this is on cooldown. Some abilities have cooldown, some abilities have warm-up times. You can't use them right off the bat. But it makes our choice easy. 6 damage. And he is going to be dead, most likely. Come on, hit. How much dot damage you take? 12 per turn. So you are in trouble, but there's not much I can do for you. So if you could just land this shot, that'd be great. He instant died to the dot damage, thankfully, because he's practically dead. We gotta get some of these people down. Shocked, 80% chance to hit. I would like to slow him. I think them getting less turns at this point is the only way that I'm gonna get poor Lot out of here alive. Some dot damage will help though. I'm really happy they haven't killed this guy yet. I mean, he's gonna die. Let's see if we can slow you down as well. There he goes. No, he died in the same fashion. There's all kinds of different death animations for him, and they're all pretty awesome. Even though they're all kind of sad. So we should die to dot damage. Where is it? You aren't dying. He said I'm gonna go for this guy. We're getting awfully on. There it is. Not slowed down anymore, but I don't think it's gonna make a tremendous difference. We just have to go all in and hope we can do more damage than we take, which so far is not the case. If it hits, we should kill him. Of course, he evades. Oh, this is close. This is real close. Oh God. Come on, 75% chance to hit. Just do it. Oh, I thought we were going to fail on first attack. If you want to call that a victory, then I will let you. But could have gone a little bit better. Hey, our officer leveled up. That's great. Okay, so if we look at him down here, we can see that he's got the little level up thing. Let's go ahead and level him up because I feel like he might need that in the future to not die. Skill tree here is a little complex kind of at first, I feel like. Though overall it's really not too bad. It's just a little more, it's kind of overwhelming to me. I'm not used to so much options, but we'll learn it with time. We have different abilities here. We can get more things as we level up, of course. All ship combat power. Mostly they give you different abilities you can use. Unlocks salvage harpoon, ship combat power. Unlocks the active nano repairs and personal magnetism ground combat abilities. So if we right click them, we can actually see what they are and find out more. This is a Q. And toughen your defense while drawing fire away from your fellow enemies. Oh, okay, so that's kind of like a tank thing. That wouldn't necessarily be bad. Streamline energy emissions. Improves ship's damage by 5%. Sometimes there's like a flat passive here, which I typically like. This ability is quite nice though. I like that it does both vulnerable and hull breach. It's quite nasty. So that's probably what we're going to go for, but let's take a look at this. First hull reinforces your hull against incoming damage, increases damage resistance by 20% for 5 rounds. Let's go with the hull. Nope, almost clicked the wrong one. Yeah, no, that's it. Yes, let's go with the Savage Harpoon. I'm a big fan of it. And of course he gets other stat increases and whatnot, which is fantastic because he really needs them. So here is a station that exists, but everyone is dead. If we send 75 crew members, we can get it working again. And no one's able to do that because we don't have an officer high enough level. But with time we could do that. I don't believe there is a way to do it without an officer. You have to have an officer, which changes the effect of how long it's going to be. But you can't just kind of do it on its own. That being said, let's go pick up some more fuel if we can. Or we can just return. We can't send him. So is he stuck now? Okay, we found some survivors. This is just like a random event that happens. We've offered to take them aboard, but the scientists are stubborn, refusing the offer, assuring that the fleet is fine. We can beam aboard their ship and take control of it. We can forcibly escort them back to the station, or we can just leave them alone. Now, like any other game that has this kind of random event things, from what I understand, each option is different. You have a chance for each one for something to go wrong or go well. I don't think it's hard-coded in that if you know this situation, clicking number 2 will always get you aboard, and clicking number 1 will always get you something bad. Let's see if we can take control of their ship. The mysterious scientists immediately teleport your boarding crew back to their ships. Soon after, the hypercast message commending your crew's pluck, then disappear into a bright flash, leaving behind state-of-the-art repair equipment. So we ended up getting some drones. Now, last time I tried this one, this is what I got. I got some equipment. This is like a mod that we can put on the ship. We will. And our team got some morale for being courageous, I guess. So, let's see if we can get them back. Oh, great. Our other ship is complete. Fantastic. We'll use her. So now we can at least have 2 people go out, which is going to make fights feel a lot safer, at least. So down here, we can see the different ship abilities and whatnot, which I will edit. We don't... I'll take a look at it later. But here we can add the repair drone. As far as I understand it, that equipment has limitums of uses, and then it's done. I'm not super familiar with it. I don't believe it's in the original game that I've played, or I just somehow completely missed it or never got that far, but that's my understanding of it. So let's get our friend back here. You cover 3 crew and 62 materials. Now we don't have any fuel though. Can we get to here? I don't know what happens if you can't get there in time. We leave our lady friend behind for now. Dude, Commander, cut out a section for you. Oh, fantastic. Our power thing is not done yet. One more day. We'll probably, let's go up here and clear this one out. She can do this. We'll get her level up. Meanwhile, we'll just go out and get this fuel. Got 2 fuel. It's not very much. Or 6 fuel. Oh no, it generates 2 fuel. We have 6 fuel. I think last time I didn't have problems with getting fuel so much because I didn't immediately go out looking for trouble like I am now. Which is fine. I enjoy the trouble. 100 health. That was not too bad. 480. We'll probably take him out soon. Let's just return you. And then, to be honest, you can help out clear some things. Which really wouldn't be that such a bad idea. So let's clear things out. We'll get that other power plant built. 3 reactors online. We can just acknowledge it. Just a tiny amount at a time we can build, hopefully, that room we need. I'm not positive if I want to build anything here. These multipliers are really nice. What they basically let us do is get kind of a flat, as you see here, an extra 15% from new dark matter. Oh yeah, gives us a multiplier in any mission rewards that type, which can really add up. I like that a lot. Specifically, I like the materials multiplier. I feel like it's one of the harder ones to find at the beginning. But we're going to save our money right now because we're just barely over at the Officer Academy. I want to put that in there. I want to get a 3rd officer. And then hopefully a 4th officer. So here we are. There's no real reason that I know of to not have just put it here. I only waited just because I like the idea of the... Whoa, go back. The officer's quarters being next to the Officer Academy. It just makes me happy. So we can do that. How long is it going to take you to clear? 1 day. He'll be done soon too, but we'll get some of these rooms open. And more or less just kind of wait. No, no, no. No. Clear the room. There we go. I mean, these will be the last ones we do for a little bit. Oh, how exciting. So when you clear a room, you have a chance to your location have an event happen. So we sent Lod down there to go clear this room, and sure enough, what does he find? He finds another Lod. So we have the option to basically get him out of there, or we can have him fight it out. After an extremely violent brawl in which dozens of cadets died, Lod is able to expose their doppelganger as a leech fraud. So turns out he was an alien disguise. Big shock. Let's go fight him. hopefully it goes a little bit better than last time, but I have high hopes. For one, there's only one of them. Let's go ahead and see if we can get shocked on them after, you know, we hit the deploy button, which I'm still not used to doing. He starts off the attack. Alright, now let's get a slow on him. Excellent stuff. I don't feel a strong reason to fix blinded. Never mind, let's do that. Blind him. You can see down here it gives him a -30 aim. I feel like that's quite a bit. It's quite a bit. You have drone attack here. This mechanical inflicts exposed. Or this exploits blinded. Now all these things will kind of tick off with each turn. So it's not necessarily a great idea, unless you're going to finish the person off maybe or something, to immediately apply a debuff and then immediately exploit it. You're not getting your full use out of it. It's usually better just to let it run a bit, especially if it's a dot. But we'll hold off on that. We'll do the drone attack. Getting him, well, we missed, so it didn't really matter. But getting him vulnerable would be nice. See, 2 of those missed because of that. Fantastic. So this will exploit it. You can see here in the yellow that we have extra 42 damage because we're exploiting the blind. Well, it says plus 100% damage. I believe that was right. We'll hit him with this. He's not confused. Well, we didn't hit him anyways. We should be super close to killing him. All we have to do is hit him. This guy is in trouble. It would be really great if we can hit him. This has a base chance to hit of 114%. Not necessarily going to kill him if we hit him, but we will hit him. Good. See, we had a cadet live. Fantastic work. I don't think it really matters necessarily if they die. I'm sure it decreases our crew numbers, but... Alright, we killed him. He can go back to his job. Well then, let's talk more rock. Go back to your job. Alright, we cleared out a room. Which one was it? Hers? I think after this, we're just going to let it be. And then we'll go out with him and see what kind of trouble we can stir up. Actually, before I do that, let's look at the tier 1 command. So we can actually get nice little buffs here for our ships right off the bat. I just have to remember what kind of ships it was that we have. I believe one of them was a marksman. And as far as I understand it, we can get both of these. Let's take a look. What do we have? We have a knight and we have a rogue. So I was wrong. Don't listen to me. So if we go to the rogue down here, and we can also get faster ship construction, which doesn't really concern me in the slightest. We can get the enforcer upgrade, or the scrapper upgrade, plus 10 damage, plus 5 evasion, or plus 15 aim, and plus 10% haul, which is like your health. Let's do this one. It says 15 days, but if we stick her to the job, it's actually only going to take 2. I think that's well worth it. And when he's done clearing out his room, which he is done, we'll have him back out. We won't bother building anything. Let's see if we can get... Oh, nope, she's just working on it. Well, then should I have him do something else, then? Perhaps. I don't know what that would be. I don't know if we really have an option. No, let's just relax for a bit. Academy is now online. Fantastic. Let's look at them. We need somebody new. So the only person we don't have yet is a scientist. So we'll pick up this person for sure. There's not a whole lot to see here, really. These 3 means it's a limited amount of use per mission. They can only use it 3 times, which is all fine and good. We'll take her. And now we'll need a science ship. Also, let's train another officer. We got 40 crew members. Let's do it. I would like to have another backup. One that we can stick at base and kind of keep doing different things while we're gone. I think that's fine. I think that's more than fine. As for combat, that could also be really nice, actually. But let's do this. It'll take you 8 days, but it'll take her 5. Carlos, that's fine. You don't have a ship yet anyways, and we'll get somebody backed up. And when she's done, we'll build a ship for you. Alright. Let's show the location. Let us see here. So out of the science ships, what I want? No. I want ship construction. So we could have been doing this. See, I'm still learning a lot about this game. Bear with me here. We have two types of science ships, both tier 1s of course, because we are just tier 1 people. This one has more health. It's hard because this one has a lot more evasion. And it's faster. It does more damage, slightly. Oh, it actually does less damage. It has less chance to crit. Despite having less health, I kind of feel like this one might be more defensive. But really, it's only the evasion. Everything else stinks other than the evasion and the speed. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure that speed adds up, but... I'm definitely going to go with the Acolyte. I don't know why I wouldn't do this. It even costs less. Well, it costs more people. I don't understand. I don't understand why I wouldn't want to do that. Go ahead and construct it. Take 3 days. It's fine, she's busy training a new officer. Hopefully not a future replacement of her. Let time tick. There is our new ship. Objective completed. So there are little missions in the bottom right. I didn't open up any of them, look at them yet. But so far it was build a ship, or build 3 ships and have 3 officers to use them. We've done all those things. So we get a reward of 25 crew. I'm not positive why it's taking me to the screen. Are we assigning to the ship? Oh, okay. Oh, fair enough. So everyone has a ship that needs one. Let time pass. She should be. Bring up the event queue. Officer in 3 days. We have notifications I don't care about anymore. And these are the different missions we could be doing. Gather resources. Automate a resource. Automate a facility. You know what? That might not be a bad idea, especially when it comes to fuel. Let's go ahead and send a lot out there. Should be just fine. We can transfer the fuel. We can view the facility, deploy drone satellite. That way we should always have a good amount of fuel coming in. Hopefully. We won't ever be stuck. No, I don't really want to wait 7 days. I should have done this sooner. We'll do that. We have a situation at the Officer Academy. Well, that sounds interesting. Oh, the students at the Academy managed to get their hands on one of the top secret Federation officers' teacher manuals and are horrified at the actual survival statistics of most of the first-year officers. It has led to a crisis in morale. So we have 2 options. We can call the whiners, which I don't feel like is going to help them, or fund an immediate rewrite. Sure. So-and-so immediately gets to work assembling a new edition of the offending manual, this time covering up the more negative portions of the previous text with skillful euphemisms. The concerned officer trainees take the bait. So he didn't gain any experience. We lost 50 materials in the rust. So basically we lost some things. This was a rather negative event. The other options I'm sure would have just gotten people killed. Which happens. So let's look at Sarah here. She actually does have a level up. Unlocks targeting assistant at ground combat. What does that do? Gives aim assists. Interesting. Unlocks tear gas ground combat. Was that all enemies? Single enemy. Sniper systems. Unlocks the bridge shot space combat power. Disables weapons. 150% damage. That actually sounds kind of nice. And lastly, we have Scattershot Theory. Unlocks a fire at will space combat power. Single enemy. Has a chance to give you vulnerable. And it adds 1 engineering to her. Interesting. A wild attack that decreases the minimal possible damage by 50%, but increases the maximum possible damage for 1 round. I'm not a big fan of trade-offs like that. Let's go with the sniper. I like the fact that one does extra damage. And for now, while we're waiting for these things to complete, I think we're actually just going to call the episode here. I hope you guys are really enjoying it. I'm trying to get something out for over the weekend. Let me know what you think. Do you love the series? Do you think it's kind of dumb? Do you think I'm doing a bad job? Also, tell me if you want your name in here. I can rename these officers, and I would absolutely love to do that. Right now we have 3, but we'll have more. And I believe we can name the ships as well. Possibly. Yeah, we can rename the ships. So we have plenty of chances to name people. Let me know what you think. I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. If you haven't already, please do subscribe and like the video. It means a lot to me. I'm hoping this will reach a fair amount of people, and we'll see you in the next episode. Take care.